Okay, I want you to just stand with me for a second. Imagine you're on the high plains of North America. It's just before dawn, the air is cold, it's quiet.
That vast sagebrush country silence.
Exactly. And then suddenly it's broken by this sound that is, well, it's frankly ridiculous. It's like a deep thwomp, then a pop, then a swish.
Right.
And it just keeps repeating over and over again. And you can hear it from miles.
It's a sound that seems totally disconnected from its source. I mean, it can carry for 3 kilometers. And you think, what on earth is making that noise? And the answer is, it's a bird. So the real question is, what kind of performance needs that much acoustic power?
Well, that's what we're here for.
Yeah.
We are diving into the world of the Greater Sage Grouse. This deep dive is really about understanding a creature whose entire life, it seems, is built around one of the most elaborate, most physically demanding mating rituals in North America.
Absolutely. And when you look at the research, you see this incredible species that is so highly specialized, but at the same time, tragically facing just extreme odds.
The energetic cost alone is staggering. You look at what they put into this spring display, and you immediately get why something like habitat loss hits them so hard. Their biology is just so high stakes.
They have zero margin for error. This bird is an icon of the American grasslands, but I think very few people realize just how fragile its existence really is.
And before we get into that spectacle, just a quick note on who we're talking about. They were actually just called sage grouse until the year 2000.
Right, that's when the Gunnison sage grouse was recognized as a separate species.
So these became the Greater Sage Grouse. And funnily enough, their scientific name sounds a bit like spiny-tailed pheasant. But they're true grouse, and they're the largest grouse species on the continent.
Oh, you notice their size immediately. The females are pretty big, around 60 centimeters long, maybe 1.5 kilograms.
But the males,
The males are just different. They're almost twice the female's weight. They are built for power.
and they absolutely need that power. Even though they're mostly on the ground, walking maybe a kilometer or two a day, they can just explode into flight.
Short, powerful bursts. They've been clocked at up to 80 kilometers per hour.
But they're not really migratory, are they? They're tied to one place.
That's right. Their whole lives are tied to the sagebrush plains. I mean, researchers have tracked some longer movements. There was one, I think, 190 kilometers from Canada down to Montana, but that's incredibly rare. Their life is on the ground.
And that ties directly into their habitat, their home.
It has to be this nice, dry land covered in sagebrush.
But the research points out this incredible vulnerability. They actively avoid any man-made structures, things like fence posts, telephone wires. Why that specific avoidance? What's going on there?
It's all about predator visibility. Think about it. In that huge flat landscape, any vertical structure,
It's a lookout post.
it's a perfect perch for a hawk or an eagle. So if we put up a fence line, we've basically just built a series of watchtowers for their predators. We've made their safe home, well, unsafe. Their entire survival depends on these vast, clear, undisturbed plains.
That sensitivity is just shocking, especially when you consider the intense disturbance they bring on themselves every single spring.
The theater of the leak.
Yes, this is where evolution just seems to have dialed everything up to 11.
It really is a theater. So the leak is this communal breeding ground, and the spot is chosen very carefully. It's at sparse vegetation, maximum visibility.
And what's wild is the history, right? Researchers believe some of these exact same spots have been used for possibly thousands of years.
Generation after generation returning to the same place. Imagine that, a biological memory held in the land itself.
Okay, so let's get into the mechanics of this dance, this sound.
Yeah.
To make that booming pop, the male basically has to become an air balloon first.
He literally gulps down huge amounts of air. He has this specialized pouch in his esophagus, and the capacity is it's just shocking. He can hold up to 4 liters of air.
Wait, 4 liters?
4 liters of air.
That's almost a gallon of air inside his chest, just to make a sound.
And once he's inflated, the show begins. He lunges forward, and he rapidly inflates and deflates these 2 big, bulbous yellow sacs on his chest.
And that's the sound. That's the pop, like a cork coming out of a bottle.
Exactly. And at the same time, he's sweeping his wings across his white breast feathers, which makes this whooshing noise.
All while fanning his tail into that incredible white starburst shape you see in all the photos.
And he'll do this routine continuously, maybe up to 10 times a minute.
For hours. Every single morning. The energy output is just, it's insane. And the stakes could not be higher.
No, and the reward for all that work is incredibly narrow. You can have up to 400 males show up at one leak, all of them performing, all desperate for attention.
But the system is, well, it's rigged.
It is. The females are in complete charge. They walk around, they inspect the displays very, very closely, and they make the choice.
And it is an extreme version of winner takes all. These birds are what's called polygynous. So one male mates with many females.
Which means hundreds of males show up to the dance and almost all of them go home alone.
It's not a balanced dating pool at all.
Not even close. It's a brutal evolutionary bottleneck. I mean, the stats are just staggering. One study documented a single successful male
Just one male.
mating with 37 different females.
37. So the vast majority of the next generation comes from a tiny, tiny fraction of the male population.
And even if he's the chosen one, the pressure doesn't stop. He has to come back the next morning and the morning after that and defend his tiny little territory just a few meters wide on that leak.
Knowing every other male wants his spot,
Mm-hmm.
the prize for winning is just more fighting.
Oh, the conflicts are intense. It starts with these low, repeated warning clucks, a sort of, don't mess with me.
But if that's ignored,
It escalates fast into these physical fights where they just batter each other with their wings to hold that little patch of ground.
and then once mating is over, the male's job is done. He just
Yeah.
leaves.
He leaves to basically collapse and try to recover his strength. The entire burden of raising the next generation is now on the female,
All by herself.
all by herself. She flies off into the sagebrush, finds a secure spot under a shrub, and builds her nest on the ground. Lines it with leaves, grasses, and even feathers she plucks from her own chest.
She lays somewhere between 4 and 11 eggs and incubates them for about a month.
The good news is the chicks are tough. They are incredibly self-sufficient. I mean, they're feeding themselves minutes after they hatch.
And they can fly confidently at just 5 weeks old. That's amazing.
It is, but here's another one of those sharp-edged specializations that becomes a huge vulnerability. Their diet.
Right. The adults are all about sagebrush.
100% of their winter diet is sagebrush leaves. But they lack a strong gizzard, the organ most birds use to grind tough food, so they have to find the softer parts of the plant to eat.
And the babies. The chicks can't eat sagebrush at all yet.
No, not yet. For the first few weeks, their diet has to be mostly insects. So the hen has to find an insect-rich area, like a wet meadow, that's also close to the sagebrush she needs for cover. If she can't find both, the chicks just don't survive.
So that specialization, the thing that let them thrive for millennia, is now their Achilles heel.
Completely. And while they have natural predators, coyotes, eagles, badgers, and the males on the leek are especially vulnerable, the biggest threat today isn't a predator.
It's us.
It's the slow, relentless creep of habitat loss and fragmentation.
And the data here isn't just a slow decline. It's a catastrophic collapse. In the late 1800s, there were an estimated 16 million of these birds.
16 million. And today, as few as 200,000 remain.
That number is just, it's horrifying. Yeah.
It is. Between 1966 and 2015, the population declined by 3.5% every single year. Every new road, every power line, every development that carves up that continuous sagebrush ecosystem, it just shaves away at their ability to survive.
Which is why conservation is so critical. The source material we looked at highlights places like Grasslands National Park.
A great example. They protect that crucial, undisturbed habitat. And that one park is home to the only 2 remaining leeks in all of Saskatchewan. It protects more than half of the entire Canadian population.
It shows that when we protect the land, it works.
It does. But it also shows the scale of the challenge. You're trying to protect a creature whose biology demands a continent-scale environment. Vast, unbroken sagebrush plains.
So after all this, what does it all mean? We've seen this bird, the Greater Sage Grouse, with this intense ancient mating ritual that is perfectly adapted to a very specific grassland.
And that very specialization now makes it desperately fragile.
That fragility is the key takeaway, isn't it? Their entire existence, their diet, their movement, that unbelievable breeding display, it's all built on one assumption.
The assumption that the sagebrush plains will always be vast and unbroken, an assumption that, well, we are rapidly dismantling.
And that brings us to our final thought for you to think about. If researchers are right, if these exact same mating grounds, these leeks, have been used for thousands of years, what does it mean when we lose them?
We're not just losing a bird population, we're losing the location itself.
So when the leek goes silent, what unseen, unrecorded biological memory of survival, a memory that spans millennia, just vanishes with it? What history disappears when the dance floor is finally empty for good?